sending you the information up, because I said the what's it called, the items like this have a much shorter explanation. Like they're nowhere near as in depth as like energy knowledge, or like or like some of the technique knowledges and stuff like that. Like those require a bit more explanation. This one's like I said, some of these are pretty straightforward, but you know what it is. You would know what you're buying beforehand. Primal Matrix knowledge Primal Matrix specifically is a primal being. It's not from the brood that you're a part of. I can tell you that. That's information that you would get because of your knowledge of the primals and the primus. Um, so yeah, what it is basically, it's pretty close to what you would consider like a Marvel symbiote. So you get a life form that attaches itself to you and kind of bonds with you. Um, it will boost your durability. It will boost your senses. It will boost. Those are the two things it'll boost. You can use it as like an extra appendage. So like if you need to grab something, but both your hands are full, like you can reach out and grab something. It will allow you to turn your limbs into weapons, like the actual thing can. And like I said, that might be a little bit redundant for you as a former Cephalon, current Primal. That's something you can do, but that's something that can do, and obviously a normal human can't do that. So it might be more beneficial to something like that, or it might be something you want to, like not to talk you out of it. Um, the potential downsides with the item is the item is its own being, it's its own creature. It will attach itself to you, but based on your will, based on some other stats, and based on your interactions, like it will have its own wants and desires that you may need to fulfill in order uh, to keep it happy. Um, it's unlikely to just up and leave you just because if you make the purchase to get it. But like I said, it can be a handful in its own right, or you guys might get along well depending on what exactly you do. But yeah, like with it being its own character, it has its own set of actions. Like it might act without your permission, that kind of thing. Like, so let's say you're fighting someone and someone else tries to jump you from behind. It's not likely that it's going to warn you. It's more likely that it's going to just to reach out and stop the attacker from behind while you're dealing with the person in front of you. So it's not like you'd have to say, oh, DM, I do this with it like that. Like you can probably ask it to do things, but there is a time gap that occurs there, like kind of you having to issue a command to it and then it reacting to your command, whereas it does act on its own most of the time. But like I said, like let's say you're in a situation where you have the time to ask for something, then you can do that too. So it's kind of like a second thing. But yeah, it's pretty much like the easiest way to think about it is a symbiote, and it will have its own personality. It will have its own wants and needs, and it'd be along for the ride. Yeah, so you can think about that if it's something you want. You're free to share that information. Like I said, as far as the armor goes, like I said, you got a little bit extra because you know what primals are. Yeah, all right, we'll leave it at that, player.